Hey guys, this episode today is brought to you by our good friends at Harry's.com. What is Harry's.com? It is a awesome, affordable set of razors and other products as well too. Harry's has been around since 2013. Back in 2013, the makers of Harry's, which is a German company, realized that shaving could be easier, more affordable, and as well more enjoyable, right? So they decided to come up with a concept to create super quality razors for the everyday Joe. These razors are super affordable, they're super convenient, and they're easy on the wallet, guys. These are quality blades that are designed in a factory in the country of Germany. Where can you pick up these razors? Just about everywhere, guys. Walmart, Target, Walgreens. I've seen them at CVS. They're just about everywhere where you can buy razors at. If you can't go into a store or you'd like to shop on their website, they do have a website, guys. Harrys.com. Visit them at Harrys.com, and you can also explore their full range of products, including body wash, bar of soap, face wash, shaving cream, shaving gel, post-shave mist, face lotion, just to name a few. They even have anti-dandruff shampoo and conditioner, guys. Constantly coming out with new products, new set of brands to their brand. So visit Harrys.com and mention that you heard it on the Patriot Angle podcast.
Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Mike Gardner, a host like no other, unscripted, unfiltered, raw. Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia, a show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast. Alrighty, guys, welcome. Today is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday vibes with Nicole and I. Got Nicole on the phone here right now. Welcome here on the Patriot Angle podcast. Got Nicole here on the phone. Tuesday vibes with Mike and Nicole. Nicole from Collectively Cole podcast and rants. Welcome, Nicole. Welcome back.
Hey guys, nice to be back.
Yeah, you sound a little winded. Are you everything okay on your end?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. I'm outside. It's a little windy here in Jersey.
Oh, okay. Got a lot to talk about. You actually emailed me the other day saying we should bring up the what was it? The cargo ship issue, right?
Yeah, I think it would be something to talk about, and to keep on point with,
right.
That with Trump and making America great again and keeping things in our country and,
absolutely.
Imports and exporting, maybe educating the public a little bit on, how imports and exports work.
Right. I wanted to get into that because there seems to be a lot of confusion, with everybody just questioning that issue.
with the imports and everything, and how it works, and the disadvantages, the advantages of it. Go ahead and kick us off. I mean, it seems like you got a little bit more expertise on.
Let's go right from there. The advantages and disadvantages of it.
Right.
The advantages to the imports is, merchandise is, quote unquote cheaper. I mean, for dollars wise.
Right.
It's made in mass quantities and it's, shipped overseas. But if you want to look at it from, the negative side of it, well, yes, you're going to pay a little bit more, a couple pennies more, for having that specific whatever it is, made in the United States. You're also saving carbon footprint. So let's address two things right there.
Sure.
Well, yes, you're saving, pennies, but if you look at pennies to the dollar versus, the extra couple pennies, you're also with the carbon footprint, with the shipping cost, and the shipping industry is one of the biggest industries in the world.
Oh, sure.
And what amazes me with all of this, and really makes people, here's the thing: people are uneducated. They're not knowledgeable as to imports and exports and the cost of the United States and the cost to other countries, and import taxes and export taxes and so on and so forth. There's a lot more to it than just your dollar store toy or your dollar store whatever. I'd rather spend $1.25 and that product, that 25 cents is going towards saving carbon footprint and keeping the money within our own ecological area.
Yeah.
Our own economy. Our own ecology. You got the economy and you got the ecology. Ecology is your environment. Economy is our own money within our own country. So keeping it right there, and maybe that little education to the public as far as that's concerned. But if you look at certain things, like there's a big, and people see it all over the place right now with Christmas toys and the outrage of that. Like, all right, cool.
Right.
Let's look at that. First of all, kids nowadays, they're not playing with toys; they're playing with electronics. So let's look at that.
Yeah, I mean they're
naturally not going to see toys in a store anymore. You're going to see electronics.
Yeah, I mean,
number one.
I mean that's one of the big issues there. Everybody's worried about the Christmas time this year. Like struggling to meet those deadlines. The stores. To get all the toys out. That maybe
really no. I mean, you've got to. Your child's a little older, minor in that toy stage, but let's look what the kids want. They want electronics. They want. They don't really want. There's no. What's the big toy this year? Remember in our generation growing up, you had the Sears catalog, you had the Toys R Us big books, you had all these things.
Yeah.
Circles and everything you want. Nowadays, that doesn't, you hardly see it exist. Like, it's dead. Because, like, I get excited every year. I'm like, here's sample, but there's the catalog's like paper thin. There's one page to it.
Yeah.
Like, it's sad,
Yeah, it's nostalgia. I mean, is that the word, right? Yeah, nostalgia. I mean,
nostalgia.
Yeah.
But,
it's classic. No kid wants to play with a teddy bear, or what were those teddy bears called? The I forgot his name, but I think you know what I'm talking about. I think the listener.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
Ruby something. Yeah.
The thing is, look at what industry is. With toys, it's plastic. Do you know that there are plastic companies and manufacturers all throughout the United States that can physically have the ability to produce those toys and those things? And it's a shame that you're not going to keep your money within your own community and your own country. Instead, you're going to bitch because cargo ships have your stupid $2 toy.
Right.
And meanwhile, the warehouse down the street that you know nothing about can produce that same toy.
Right. And a lot of people are confused. Like we're talking about the cargo ship, the so-called congestion, what's going on, especially in California and ports of, a lot of ports on the East Coast, mainly Florida, the Gulf, Texas and stuff like that. The only thing that this is going to literally, America's going to suffer from is, products that are coming into the United States, from other countries. The food, the food industry, that's not going to hurt because 90% of our food is, grown here, so that's not really going to take a drastic hit. It's the merchandise, like the TVs, yeah.
Electronics.
Yeah.
Look at where the electronics capital of the world is. In, the Asia.
Yeah.
It's in Japan, it's in China. That's where the capital of, electronics are made. Like, that's where electronics are made. That's where they're produced. That's where they're made. That's where they're created. That's where everything else. Look at what's going on right now with the cars and the car industry. I used to sell cars, and it's a bad industry to be in right now.
Yeah.
Like,
trust me.
They're suffering hardcore because you can't get a brand new car. Guess what? Your lease is up. Guess what? Get ready to extend that lease because the car that you want with that red leather interior, whatever,
yeah.
You'll have access to it because the electronics that car is now missing. We produce cars in the United States. Fun fact, all Mercedes-Benz SUVs are they're put together here in the United States. They're actually down by you, actually.
Yeah. Mostly made in the Atlanta area, yeah. Metro Atlanta, yeah.
So it's, and that's but as far as the electronics for Ford, Chevy, GM, you're missing the electronic component, and the electronic component is coming from overseas. Hello, Poppy.
Yeah.
My son just got home from school. So,
okay.
There's the mom moment.
Mom moment, yes. Definitely a mom moment. But I can relate. My other line of work, which I'm not going to get into on the show for privacy issues, but I mean, it's I see it. I have friends that work in the supply industry, the supply chain industry, and they're telling me they're taking drastic hits. Short staffing, people not wanting to come into work. And some of these companies, Nicole, are throwing huge amounts of dollars. I'm talking about not hundreds of dollars, damn near almost thousands of dollars.
I know.
Sign-on bonuses.
The company that I just recently left working for is throwing out thousands, not even hundreds, thousands of dollars.
I'm telling you.
For people to come in and do the job.
Yeah.
So it's not the lack of work; it's the lack of people that want to work.
Yeah, exactly. It's we can hear the accordions going off, literally by every single day, So it's bad right on the time in there, but I see it every single day, not just supply chain. I see it in restaurants, I see it car industry. I see it everywhere. I mean, even, from bars, a bar, like different types of bars, big chain bars, Hooters, Twin Peaks. All the big name chain sports bars. $400 sign-on bonus, $200 sign-on bonus. I'm like, guys, what are you crying for? You're crying that, there's no work out there. The fucking work is right there. It's not like there's not enough jobs in the country. There's plenty enough jobs. It's the people to fill those jobs.
That's the thing. And that's another reason why we have to import a lot of our goods and services because people don't want to work. So how are we going to not import things that we can physically make here in our country? Because people aren't willing to work.
Exactly.
To keep it within our own country. It's more like, people are just being, left-sided. Like, today I'm gonna feel this way, and today I'm gonna do that, and today, what the hell? Stop being so damn bipolar. Be consistent.
Exactly. I think we're getting into an age right now where people are becoming more selfish and less aware of the actual situation. Producer Josh, like I mentioned, he's not in the show today. He's not in the studio, but when he's here, him and I we talk every single day. his main line of work, set aside from the podcast here, is at his studio, his production studio. He's involved with music and other lines of work. And he says the same thing, like we see it, in the studio. I mean, every single day, it's hard, to fill in talent when you don't have talent to fill in to begin with. And I'm like, wow, okay. So, I mean, it's drastic. It really is. And, there's this basement Biden, delusional Biden, Joe Manchin, whatever the hell you want to call him, go Brandon. I mean, whatever. I can say other things, but, I think everybody knows where everybody knows where we're going at, with the whole,
That's not today's topic of discussion there, Mike. Let's keep it on the...
Yeah, I know. I go off topic sometimes, but, it's stressful. You know what I mean? It's stressful.
And I used to work in the industry that was very similar to, your industry.
Yeah. And,
I have friends that are still in that industry. Thankfully, for my own sanity, I don't work in that industry anymore.
Yeah.
I have a different path, which is where I belong, my health and wellness path.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge, you sit there and you don't want to shake people, like, why don't you want to keep your job here? Like, why are we crying over, trucks that, you got these environmentalists, like, who one day they're not, one day they are, you got these people who are one day they're health advocates, the next day they're not. Like, dude, like, that's cool that you want to eat that McDonald's cheeseburger, but damn, like, sitting there talking about how, you shouldn't, and then you're shoving it down your throat, like,
exactly.
What? And then you got the people with the same thing of like, oh, you got to work in America, keep the money in America, keep the money in America. Meanwhile, you're the big head that keeps ordering shit offline that, came from overseas. Like, really? Okay, much?
It's we keep on hearing, what you had just said, I was gonna say something, but it's just the words aren't there today. We're all frustrated. We're all frustrated. What's going on? We are.
You sure? Because some people don't seem to give a shit. Because if we had more people like us running their freaking mouth, I think a lot would change. But the thing is, they're like church mice in this. Like go. But why don't you help us fight the cause? Why don't you help us speak up? Why don't you help us, stand there and back jobs in America and stand there and help advocate for keeping, everything on our soil and help you sit there and bitch about the vaccine. Help us, help you continue to bitch and fight for it,
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense, and, especially what Biden's doing, I mean, he's literally, his whole message to build back better, build back better. What is he building? And how is he building it back better? First of all, he's not building anything, like, look what he's doing, like you just mentioned the vaccines, he's questioning, the whole administration's questioning, like, how come it's hard for the, for people, for companies to fill these jobs? Well, because you keep on implementing vaccine mandates, I mean, no one's going to want to, go to work. You know what I mean?
Let's get realistic on the vaccine thing. If they really wanted to vaccinate us, all of us, and they really wanted us to all be vaccinated without being forced, I think this little game they're playing, they would put it in the foods that we eat. Hello? Whatever's in the vaccine, they would put it in the processed foods that everyone's freaking eats. And everyone would be, we would all have that community, so to speak, because we all eat the same shit. Come on. Come on.
Exactly. Yeah. Come on. Right.
Come on. Stop enforcing this shit on us and stop making us get a vaccine. Meanwhile, we know damn well that our food's processed with X, Y, and Z. And X, Y, and Z, we don't have people who are uneducated, don't know what X, Y, and Z is. So for all they know, X, Y, and Z could very well be the damn vaccine. Come on. Wake up, America.
Yeah. Wake up. It's time to wake up. I mean, I want to, I want to get back into this, this one story relating to what we're talking about with the cargo ships, and then, kind of spin off the next topic here that's related to that with the supply chain crisis, that, just recently, this coming out of Breitbart, which I love, I always mention how great Breitbart is, and, they're so positive, with their news and everything, a lot of people don't realize this, but, just reported, what was this, earlier today, photos too, guys. And let me elaborate to the listeners here that, if you guys, you guys want to check this out, I think Breitbart's the only conservative news platform that's actually reporting on this, because you're not going to get it from, fake CNN or MSNBC. If you head over to Breitbart.com, they have a whole article about this where reported 66 cargo ships literally hovering near LA Long Beach ports, and will estimate it to be near 100 ships by the end of this week. Folks, these are ships that are just basically anchoring off the coastline of California, near the ports, usually within a mile or 2 miles off, right near the ports. These are cargo ships now that are not anchored for rightful reasons, and I think we know why, Nicole. They're not anchored because they can't anchor. It's just, there's so many issues. One of the reasons that are saying that the total of ships anchored at the port of Long Beach was reported because of literally commands from the upper management of these cargo ship companies saying, do not anchor until we have permission from higher authority. These are supplies that we need in this country, like, dearly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the cargo crisis. It literally continuing, into this week. We've seen it last week unfold, and it's, seems to be continuing into this week. Literally a picture going viral on the internet earlier this week, folks, with a Walmart truck driver literally driving or approaching the Harbor Boulevard Bridge in San Francisco, literally just waiting from management of Walmart to tell them to literally continue their route. Folks, this is terrible. This is terrible because no one wants to continue the work if there's these vaccine mandates. This is what we're seeing. It's terrible. It's just all this stuff that I'm literally saying right now on the podcast, no one's talking about. And, what's going on? You live up north, so what's going on up there? I know there's ports up there, like New York, and, I'm sure that there's a port over near Boston too, right? Like, what's going on with the ports up there?
There's Boston, there's, Elizabeth Seaport, which is, it's screw New York. Like, we get, listen, Elizabeth Seaport just knows that we get the cargo ships coming in and out. We're one of the biggest ports, that's, coming in and out of everything. So
it's bad. It's bad.
It's horrible.
And then relating to that, Mega Governor Ron DeSantis literally addressed the supply chain crisis that can basically kind of tippy toe off the cargo ship crisis. That's now saying, and he made this viral just the other day, saying that if California Governor Newsom does not want to do anything about the ports in California, all the cargo ship companies, supply chain companies that use these services can reroute themselves into our ports of Florida, saying that Florida ports are wide open. Come on down. This is, Florida literally playing a key role in advocating.
Excuse, then, all right, cool, we got ports open. What's the excuse now? What's going on? It makes you wonder.
It's all politicized. It really is. It's just it's the Democrats that are trying to get back at conservative leadership and also conservative activists from the last 4 years under Trump.
Conservative leadership. You actually have to be a leader in order to anything. And those two, the leader and conservative, don't what?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yep. Yeah. That's all it is, Nicole. It's one big power trip. The Democrats seen leadership under Trump for 4 years, and they know times were great under him, but they won't admit that on live camera. They won't admit it.
He was a businessman. They couldn't handle the fact that he was a businessman. He was running the country like a business. How do you expect to run an economy not like a business? Think about it. An economy needs to be run like a business. Yep. You need to have your leadership. You need to have, your worker bees. You need to have, all the working parts of a business, an economy. Let's look at the environment, ecology. Yep. Start of the environment. You need insects in order to eat plants, in order to kill the bacteria, in order to feed the snakes, to eat the, you know what I mean? Like, let's look at it at its entirety. Let's look at it environmentally and financially.
Exactly.
Let's look at the picture in its entirety.
I mean, there's a lot of people that don't realize this, though. But, I mean, and this has probably not been reported on CNN or anything like that. But, in those 4 years, I just mentioned with Trump, 4 years, right? 4 years. Since then, we're talking about Florida now, right? With DeSantis and all that. 4 years, Florida became a $1 billion industry with seaports and acquired over 70 seaports in the state of Florida in 4 years. 4 years under President Trump. Has Biden acquired any of that? No. He'll take credit for it, though. He'll take credit.
Sure will.
He'll take credit for it. So we're talking about the seaports. We're talking, guys, I do want to apologize here. The listeners probably, like Mike's not his regular self. He's not, ambitious. He's not, ecstatic, but it's just the frustration. The frustration here, guys, is very real. And I mean, I'm still frustrated of what they did to me the other night. A couple nights ago with 420 VIPs from New Jersey, literally shadow banned the hell out of me on Facebook. We should have knew this was coming. I mean, but, nice me, like everybody, kind of knows me by now. They basically, they basically cut her feed. They cut her feed and, they cut her feed and, that you can only do so much, right? So it is what it is. It is what it is. But
truth, they don't want to hear the truth.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't want to hear the truth. So you were mentioning something here. I wanted to plug in some of your content because you did say something the other day on your podcast, your rants. You had mentioned something. What was it, like a day or 2 days ago?
Yeah, it was probably yesterday. Yesterday was my big rant.
Yeah. I actually tuned into that rant, and that was very interesting, very, very interesting. Do you want to relate anything on that or no?
With how right then and there, with the body mind connection. Which rant are we talking about here?
Well, we're not talking about the tire rant. We're talking about the rant that you did the other day. Yeah, the rant you did the other day. You were talking about. Oh God. I might have to skip over this, folks, because I can't ever remember. You get so caught up in different things.
You get caught up in it. And
but it did make some sense. I actually listened to it twice, and I'm like, that kind of makes sense. It kind of brings up a point. But as we're finding this article here from Nicole on her podcast, guys, we might have it, we might not, but she did make a good point.
I run my rants.
She did make a good point. Listeners are going to probably come up on the blog here after the podcast and probably write on my blog saying, Collective Cole has to write a journal down. But
I have it right here.
Yeah, you do got it, huh? You were talking about something. I think you had mentioned something with the surveillance with China or something.
The surveillance with China.
Yeah, some kind of surveillance issue that we're having with China.
With our phones and with
The
how
IRS and all that other stuff. Anyway,
here it is. I got it right here.
You got it. Okay, cool. Was it on your tablet or something?
It's on my computer.
Oh, okay.
I will. Like a child going, no. Well, guess what? Thank you. No. I will. You hear that?
Yeah.
I will.
Guys, what you're hearing is a plug-in from Collective Cole Rant's podcast. Yeah, she's literally going.
Give us free will. God, give us free will to make choices, to change things, to wake up in the morning and instead of eating spaghetti for breakfast, eating pancakes or vice versa. Anyway, free will could be interpreted multiple ways, but in that sense, free will. My point to this Monday rant was mental health is so incredibly important. And mental health is like going to the gym. I have this therapist who, unfortunately, mental health is like going to the gym.
Yeah, we heard that one. That's the one I was actually talking about, the mental health. Yeah. And then, I wanted to switch a little bit off the cargo ship because, I mean, the cargo ship, it's just, it's crazy.
Mental health is like going to the gym. See, now this is where my expertise lies. I'm a personal trainer, I'm certified nutrition, exercise science, the whole shebang, right? This is where my expertise lies. And this is where, when you hear my rant, most 99% of them, unless I'm throwing something political in there, have everything to do with the body, mind, and spirit connection, how they all connect, okay?
Right.
Well, you can go to the gym, and I want people to see this, and you know how before I was saying how ecology, which is the living beings surrounding the environment, and economy, which is the money and trade and housing and everything else.
Right.
They all connect. Just like mental health, going to a therapist, eating your greens, going to the gym every day, they all connect. And people are so full-minded and ignorant and not see that everything connects. Now, if we keep the connection within our bubble of the United States, you'll see that it's a better working system.
Right.
Well, Senor Joe is not keeping it within the United States, in turn causing neurons and atoms and neurons themselves to fire off in 9 billion different directions, which is causing more chaos. Okay, now
sadly it is.
You go to the gym, okay? You sit there and you gotta go, I want to lose 20 pounds because I got a wedding to go to, or I got an event.
Right.
Okay? You go to the gym, you hire a personal trainer, you lose that 20 pounds, you're looking great, you're feeling good, you're mentally great, you're physically great, you're showing some muscle tonage, the whole shebang, right?
Right.
Well, you go to that wedding, you have that mental aspect of, damn, I feel good, I look good, I feel good, that whole body, mind, the mental health connection and the physical connection. Guess what? You leave the party, the wedding, wherever you're at, your house, your job, whatever. And when I'm putting this in real life political world terms,
right?
I want people to see the picture of it.
Sure.
You stop going instead of going to the gym on okay, cool, I lost the 20 pounds. Let me keep in a clearly headed thinking individual's mind, you're going to keep the 20 pounds off, so you're going to continue to go to the gym. You're going to have a routine. You're going to continue to eat your veggies and, drink your water and, normal healthy tips. But this is advice that's free access to this advice. This does not mean, charging the $6 an hour to train you. This is free, you get it on Google,
Yeah.
So you go to the gym, you lose your 20 pounds, and you go to the party, you feel great mentally, you look great physically, and you stop doing it. You leave the party, you stop doing that. Stop going to the gym. In the case of going to a therapist because you've gone through a traumatic event, you got through the traumatic event, you stop going to the therapist. What good are you doing for yourself? What good are you doing for your economy? What good are you doing for the environment? What good are you doing? The same thing is relevant to what is going on in the United States today, in the world today. If you quit your job when you make the $100,000, whatever, I'm just throwing a number out there.
Right.
What are you going to do with that money? Whoa, how are you going to survive? Well, only 100K. Come on. What are you going to do next? What is your next plan?
Yeah, what's your next step in life? I mean, where are you going to take that to? Are you going to blossom it into what the possibilities are endless. I mean, like, we're kind of changing topics here because I got to elaborate the listeners here. I'm exhausted about the cargo ship, guys. I know you probably want to hear more cargo ship and supply chain, but touch that on another day.
But,
I mean,
Mike, it's relevant. Think about it.
Yeah.
It's relevant.
Yeah. It's
relevant. These people they're not, the cargo ship and it's the economy and the money and the gym and the mental health and everything else.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
It all relates.
Yeah, mental health is affecting all of us. Whether we suffer from it or don't. I mean, I know people like, I'm gonna touch this here on the show right now. I know people that never suffered mental health in their life, and it's now affecting them because of this pandemic, because of the vaccine mandates and the masking and all that shit. I mean, it's affecting them now. It's driving people crazy. You know what I mean? Like you want to blame it on a president, you want to blame it on a person, you want to blame it on the government. I mean, blame it on the system because the system's allowing it. You know what I mean?
No, don't get me started on the system. The system is rigged.
It's terrible. Well, we know it's rigged. It's been rigged, for how long now? I mean, this is not a country. This is a freaking corporation. A lot of people don't realize this, like your social security number, that's a tax ID that goes to the system, like we're all little robots, to the system, you know what I mean? And it's always been like that, and it's never going to change. It could change, but, we become a society that we're too damn blind to figure it out, But it's crazy.
It all relates. It's all relatable.
Yeah.
It's all, let's keep our jobs in our own little bubble. Let's keep our jobs in our own community. Yeah. If you don't like the community that you're in, then leave. Like, look at the town that we grew up in. Fucking hate that place more than anything on the face of the earth as far as community.
Yeah, but you gotta think, like, the town we grew up in. I know it was, it sucked, but I mean, everybody's got to remember that those days were great, weren't they? No problems. We didn't have all the. I mean, this is before big tech took over and big pharma, and like, we didn't have technology literally like. Fact checking every little statement we post on social media, like where it's. I mean,
you had a problem with somebody who addressed it to their face.
Exactly.
You text message.
Exactly. We didn't have our avatar on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. Literally, he said something about my boyfriend, or he's talking about the color or dress I wore, or, he's saying I should wear more makeup and this and that, and I have to put a tweet out, or I have to put an Instagram post, or a picture or a Facebook post and this and that and blah, 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 blah. I mean, today's times is terrible. It's terrible. It's poisoning. It's poisoning our society as a culture. I mean, the culture in this country is dead. The language in this country is dead. The borders, don't get me started with the borders. Oh my God. What borders, right? I mean, I touched this yesterday on, what was it? Yeah, yesterday's show, about the borders. And then I posted on, and then guys too. This is going to relate here real quick. I want to get this in. the borders. These panels, guys, you go to the south end of Texas, they have borders right now, Nicole, that are rusting. Hundreds of miles of border panel, just literally rusting since January. It's terrible, terrible. I mean, this is, oh boy, this president, this administration. I don't like talking bad about people, but I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well, like I said, in the first show that I was on with you, it was, I'm not going to sit here and say that he's not my president, but I'm not going to sit here and agree with what he does.
I mean,
I'm a United States citizen. I am a born and raised American.
Yeah.
I know I love my country. I'm proud of my country. Right now, I'm not proud of my leader's decisions in how he's running our country.
Exactly.
And I'm allowed to feel that way. I'm allowed to, address that. What I'm not allowed to do, and what would completely, and you would agree with me on this, would completely go against patriotism is if you sat there and said, oh, he's not my president. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't agree with my president. I think my president's a jackass. I think my president's an idiot. I think my president is a monkey puppet that's run by fucking circus animals and it looks like a fucking marionette with the invisible strings attached to his mouth.
Guys, you're hearing Collective Cole here on the Patriot Angle podcast, very unfiltered. And she doesn't apologize for that. She is probably the most patriotic, conservative woman I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, you definitely just heard me being unfiltered.
I'm very unfiltered.
Our president, all of those things,
yeah.
But I won't sit there and say that he's not our president.
And it's good too because we don't have a bleep box. We don't bleep. We don't believe in bleep here on the podcast. That's why we have a disclaimer in the beginning of the show. If the show's not for you guys, hit the exit button. You're not breaking my heart because people like to hear this, Nicole. I mean, they love to hear this, and you know what I mean, like.
They're probably laughing and agreeing with me and picturing a marionette puppet with the strings attached to it.
I mean, they're probably, guys, whether you're listening to this on audio, through Spotify, Apple, or Google, or you're watching it on Rumble right now on the video, which is on Rumble and also on YouTube. YouTube hasn't censored me yet. They're actually being fair to me, which is very rare. I guess I'm not a huge camaraderie yet, an entity of ScrewTube yet, which maybe I should be nice because they're actually being fair to me, so that's nice. But yeah. I mean, this is dangerous times, real dangerous times, and I mean, have they been fair to you on your rants, on your podcast? I mean, are you getting?
Oh, I get shit. People share my shit, unfortunately, and it's, my rants are, until I make the decisions to make them completely accessible to the public, it's a shame because I've got hackers starting to hack my shit.
Exactly, exactly. And I was going to bring up this one app, which I want to plug in real quick, which is related to your what you're talking about right now on the show. Guys, if you're getting tired of dealing with censorship, you're getting tired of dealing with those tracking logs. Everybody knows what the tracking logs are, right? You go to Walmart.com and then like a minute or two, you go back to Facebook, check your postings, check what your friends, what they're doing online to see if they're online. What do you see in the upper right or the lower left or wherever on Facebook? What do you see on Facebook, guys? You see the ads on Facebook from Walmart, right? I mean, you see it all over there. Those guys, those are called tracking logs, okay? Big tech loves doing it. And if you don't want to see the tracking logs from big tech, you can get rid of all that, guys. Head over to expressvpn.com. Head over to expressvpn.com, guys. Check them out. Download ExpressVPN. I'm telling you right now, it's going to save your life. It's going to save your life, and it's really going to be good. Download ExpressVPN, guys. You'll love them. I have it for the podcast. I have it for my marketing. I have it for everything that I do with this podcast. I get tired of the tracking. Download ExpressVPN. Tell them that you heard it on the Patriot Angle podcast, and it's going to save your life. You should do the same, Nicole. Download that app. I'm telling you.
I'm definitely gonna look into that.
Download it, guys. I mean, it's they they represent the podcast here on the Patriot Angle podcast. And, you know, Nicole, what the hell are you doing?
I'm finishing making dinner for my kids.
If I had producer Josh, he'd be like, what is she doing? Do we have to call up the local paramedics or something like that? Anyway, guys, if you see this on video, if you're on the video on the Rumble or the YouTube version of this episode, the noise in the background is actually Collective Cole being a mom.
Exactly.
And cooking for her children. She's a multitask mom. She does it all, right? I mean, you do the ranch, you do the momming, you do this, you do that. I mean, you're like a super mom over there.
Job, yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious! We should give you like a red cape. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I need no props. I mean, I need my kids happy and healthy.
Yeah. But I'm going to end it right now. Thank you always again, Nicole, for coming on. Guys, we made this exclusive here every Tuesday. I love having her on the show here now. It's like kind of like an everyday Tuesday thing now. We always welcome her back, you know, because we want that female aspect. We want the female angle on the show, you know.
Yeah, the marionette puppet. You know, you like that twist, right?
The what? I'm sorry?
The marionette puppet picture that I just drew for everybody.
Oh, you're not a puppet.
No, the picture that I drew for everybody with my thoughts before.
Oh, okay, yeah. But here, before we close it out, why don't you plug in your content here so you can get some listeners, some of your feedback, you know, because there's some listeners I'm sure that are wondering about you and what you do and everything else. Trumpets in the background. Anyway, you want me to do it for you? You sound a little shy.
I'm Collectively Cole. You can find my rant on Facebook. Has been Collectively Cole.
There you go.
In the search bar. You can be added to the group. I talk about everyday life, you know, relatable things, situations. Yeah, you know, I go on my rants about political beliefs, but as far as my rants are concerned, they're real life things. I'm a single mom. I'm a domestic violence survivor, and yes, everybody in the world knows that. So I see things on a different level. You know, I'm adaptable to different changing environments, and you know, I still see fairness and love in the world, and you know, I spread it with truth. So.
See, that's awesome, guys. That's you know, you don't like I said, I've had her on the first, I think it was like the second or something like that. I said this, you know, you don't see too many women, you know, that come out of this, you know, with whether it's political rants, personal rants, you don't see too many of that. You know, it takes a lot of bravery, you know, for, you know, someone like you, Nicole, to, you know, to say all that, you know, even myself, you know, people come up to me all the time, the blogs or the Instagram or whatever, emails, you know, like, Mike, why do you do what you do? You know, like, because if I don't do it, you know, it doesn't get said, you know, it gets ignored. It gets ignored. And, you know, and the crap that we deal with every day, you know, yes, it still goes on even after I, you know, spiel my crap here on the podcast for, you know, 30 plus minutes, you know, it's still gonna go on. But I feel like if we still talk about it every day and we express ourselves every day, and the more we express this through podcasting or, you know, through video content, you know, the truth gets told, and sooner or later it's going to change, you know, it's going to change. But, well,
I'm changing one person's mind every day.
Exactly.
You know, I have this saying, and I'm sure you've seen it. You make one person smile every single day. That's 365 people that you make smile.
Exactly. I
you
hope.
Times that. And that's a big thing.
Yeah. You know, but anyway, I'm going to let you get going.
I got to go back to being my mom thing.
You got to go being a mom. Cause I got about another 5 minutes here left on the show, and I'm going to kick it off. Going to have, Jerry from Freedom Fighters on the show. I was supposed to have him on the show with us today, but some scheduling issues on his end. So we're going to have him on tomorrow's show. So that'd be good.
I will look forward to seeing you guys next Tuesday.
Yes, definitely. Same time, same Same podcast channel, same show, same everything, guys. This is Collective Cole with Mike, and thanks for joining us today again, Nicole. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me. I'll see you guys next week.
All right. Take it easy, Nicole.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. All right, guys. What you just heard was Collective Cole on the phone. She's on this show every Tuesday. Love to have her. She's an awesome contributor here to the show. Love to see her content because it's always great, guys, when you have a female on the show, and it's inspiring on all different angles. You know, like we started out with the show with the cargo ship issue. Guys, I normally talk about topics basically through the beginning to the end of the show, and this, guys, I mean, the frustration with this topic is it's just, there's words, but you know, I want to be careful with my words. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to, you know, twist words and, oh, Mike said this, Mike said that. No, I'm not saying all that, guys. I'm just fed up with the situation. I'm fed up with it. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to close it out. Remember, every Tuesday you can hear me and Nicole on the podcast here, the Patriot Angle podcast. Also, guys, tune me in next week, as I will be up in New Jersey doing a show that will be actually pretty cool. So tune me in next week. As I will be doing a live show on YouTube, actually. It will be formatted into the audio version. So all you guys that love the audio version, you can hear that on Spotify, Apple, and Google, as well as the live version on YouTube, and also the video on Rumble. So that'd be kind of cool, guys. So tune into that. Really, really awesome. We're definitely growing now on season 2 episode. Don't have Josh here. Usually, you know, he's in my earpiece. Sometimes I wear an headpiece when I do the audio shows. But usually Josh reminds me what episodes we're on sometimes, because I mean, the podcast is growing, guys. It's growing. I think we're like 158, maybe 159. Don't quote me. I got to look at the library. I think we just hit 159. Today will be 159. So, guys, if you don't know about me, I'm Mike, the host of the Patriot Angle podcast. Please follow me on Instagram, Patriot_Angle_unfiltered. You can follow me on Facebook. And like I said, guys, check me out tomorrow on another episode, as we will have Jerry from Freedom Fighters joining us. Thanks very much, guys. See you tomorrow.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle podcast, an Anchor platform.